Hello and welcome to this next part in our research proposal process where we're talking about sampling. Now, in essence, this part of the methods section of your paper will communicate to anybody who's reading it the way you went about recruiting subjects to participate in your study. Now, many of you might be using email, you might be communicating with people on social media. I'll be helping you with some of those steps, certainly to get the KVCC community involved. But kind of have to break down for anybody who is looking at your study can easily see how you actually recruited your subjects and the potential errors and biases that could come about because of that. Now, because this is a course on research methods, I'm going to be asking you to identify the actual sampling method that you're using. That is usually to name it, any sort of random sampling and stuff. It's rare that you will see that in the actual literature, but in your paper, you're going to actually be naming the type of sampling method that you're going to be using. So let's go to the assignment that I completed. So here we have the sampling paper, and again the same exact title page with the running header and the date and the title are the things that have changed to make this paper what it is. I start off by repeating, if you look at my last assignment, you'll see that this paragraph here is almost word for word. There's just a few changes. I made it at the beginning. And eventually this will disappear. You don't want to always be reintroducing your study and design. That's okay, but I want it in this paper. So you start off again with what is your study going to do? And you put in there, the study will measure subjects' perceptions of how long an image has been presented to them, long or short. The study will utilize these images, pretty much a replication of what was in the previous paper. Then I start talking about sampling, and I start off right off the bat describing and naming the type of sampling that I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using convenience and snowballing methods. Then I describe the steps. An invitation to participate in the study, see Appendix A. You always put you don't put that at the end. When you say, according to a study, you put the in-text reference right there, and referring to an appendix is done in much the same way as an in-text citation. As soon as I mention there's something that I'm going to be talking about, I tell them where to go look at it. So I've added an appendix to this particular paper. For me, it's Appendix A. For some of you, it might be a different letter because you already used Appendix A for your instruments. That's fine. There's no specified order in which those are supposed to go in, other than maybe the order in which you talk about them in your paper. So the first time you need an appendix, call that one Appendix A, Appendix B, C, and on. So I have an invitation to participate in the study will be sent to all members of the Kennebec Valley Community College community. In addition, the invitation will also be posted on the experimenter's personal social media account, Facebook. That will be the convenience sampling part. In order to engage the snowballing effect, I'm going to add both recipients of the email and the Facebook post will be encouraged to share this information with whomever they choose, either by forwarding the email or by sharing the invitation on their own Facebook timeline. I'll fix that. A link in the invitation will bring potential subjects to a more comprehensive description of the study, the consent for participation information, and a link to begin the experiment if they choose to participate. That's it. This is my sampling, how I'm going to use convenience sampling, how I'm going to use snowballing, and then in this case I'm saying, what will that link bring them to? I then go down, here's my references that I've just been copying from place to place, and then I get to my appendix. This is a word for word what I'm going to send out in both the email and in my Facebook post. I introduced who I am and my role at KVCC and what I'm doing. So you're going to be introducing yourself and that you are conducting a study as part of your research methods class for as you pursue your associates in science and psychology. Include all that. They want to know if it's people's right to know that you're a student and that you are asking them to participate in a study that you're doing for class. And so then I go into a very brief explanation of the study. I don't give everything away here, but the study explores the relationship between qualities of images and our subjective experiences of those images. In this study, subjects will be shown a total of 36 photos and will be asked a question about each of them. Participation should take less than 15 minutes. So in here, what I'm advertising, I'm telling people, this is what I'm going to have you do, so that they understand, at least preliminarily, what I want them to do. Now, some of you might even be conducting experiments and studies where you're inviting people in, so you're going to have to go into some detail as to how you're going to schedule for people to come in, what are some availability dates and stuff like that. At this point, because we're doing this next semester, you might not actually complete that, might not have all of that information specifically in terms of dates and whatnot. But you want to address, anybody that's looking at this and they're kind of wondering, okay, I'm sort of interested in this. What am I going to be doing? That's what they want to know, is you answer that question a little bit. And then I tell them what's the next step. Now the next step is, if you're interested in participating in this study, click the link below, which will exist here. And then I tell them they're going to find. This link will bring you to a more detailed description of the study, the opportunity to communicate your consent to participation, and a direct link to begin the experiment. And then I just remind them here, just because it popped into my head, at no time are you obligated to participate in this study. Maybe covering my base that if they click on that link, they can still opt out of it. It's not like they're going to be stuck right into it. They can still just delete it and just go on. So at no time are they obligated to participate in this study, even if they click on this first link. Here's the effort to get some snowballing effect here. Please feel free to pass this message along to your own social circles to assist me in collecting as much data as possible. Thank you very much, sincerely. And then that's me. And then the link, when it's ready, will go there. And that is the sampling assignment. So again, you're introducing your topic again. You are describing the method. You're naming the method that you're going to be using. Some of you are looking at specific populations, so you're going to have a mechanism built into your sampling that allows individuals to self-identify that they are part of that population, and that will be a criteria for participation in your study. So make sure that you discuss that in here. So I'm looking for individuals with these particular characteristics. And so, namely, we have an individual that's looking at individuals with dyslexia and dyscalculia. And so within this section, you are going to describe how you are going to allow individuals to self-identify as being in that category of people. Something like click the link below if you have dyslexia, or otherwise don't click on the link, or maybe you have two groups, but there will be, and certainly telling individuals, if you're going to be asking them to self-identify with like a diagnosis or something, you might put a little bit in here. It's going to be in the consent, but you might put a little in here about confidentiality, that this information remain private. Okay, so that's this assignment, getting this into your process of getting your research projects proposals all ready together. And so I will see you on the next one, and take care, and I will see you next time.